And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we get all of our ducks in a row. It is Wednesday. Aren't you glad? Middle of the week. Maybe you're not. Today is December the 13th. That means Christmas is a day or two closer, isn't it? Boy, it's coming. Not much time to do your shopping. If you're shopping for the little ones, they always love that. Always remember also, there's several programs in the Meridian area. If you get an extra pair of socks or a little extra something, drop it by a nursing home. There's a lot of folks that have no family anymore, and it's just a little whatnot of a thank you. If you have something extra there, I'll try to get some names and places that are accepting gifts like that. Important. Young and old, we all love Christmas, don't we? 31 as you're waking up. We're going to get to 63 later today. Radar is all clear at this point in time, and we'll get into that in just a moment as we do this. A lot coming up at 7 o'clock as we'll tell you about a domestic dispute that went south, so to speak. As a car chase began in Clark County and ended in Lauderdale County last night. We'll tell you all about that coming up with Scotty Ray and Odie beginning at 7 o'clock. So don't miss out on it. We've got the latest breaking news that happens throughout the areas. Won't you join us? I hope you will. Right now, let's straighten the day out. As I always have in the back of my head, no matter what's going on, old Don Williams song. Lord, I hope this day is good. Let's make it better. Let's go to Collinsville.
Christian scholar G.K. Chesterton once noted, the Bible tells us to love our neighbors and also to love our enemies, probably because generally they're the same people. Isn't that true? Sometimes the hardest people to live in peace with are those we live in proximity to. But what can change that? Well, the answer is Christ. Listen to what the Holy Spirit said through Apostle Paul in Ephesians 2. Jesus himself is our peace, who has made us both one and has broken down in his flesh the dividing wall of hostility by abolishing the law of commandments expressed in ordinances, that he might create in himself one new man in place of the two, so making peace and might reconcile us both to God in one body through the cross, thereby killing the hostility. Now, in the context, he's primarily talking about Jews and Gentiles, but the application extends to every situation in which enmity exists. That guy at work, the mom on your son's baseball team, the cranky neighbor, that person that is different from you and disagrees with you, even that person that hurt you. Christ through the cross has made a way for all hostility to be extinguished. So nail that hostility to the cross. Let Christ rule as your Prince of Peace and be reconciled to that person. May you live in peace with everybody around you through Christ. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, Mowdy Cabinetry, and Parker Marketing Insurance Advisors. And welcome back. As Jerome Lee put it, burr at 31. I get cold quickly. I got the heat going in here. I'm feeling good at this point. More coffee to go will make it better. Some folks get started on hot chocolate. Some get coffee, and some do caffeine and drinks. I'm more of that coffee. That's where I'm at on that. Alice, how are you doing today? Preston, Mississippi. What a great place. Been there many times. Miss Jean, how are you? Miss Dorothy is up as well. I don't have all the details, but as we start our headline news, have you ever been on a flight and it got diverted or delayed? It happened to 270 people that were on a Delta Airlines flight. It diverted into Canada and had to stop over. They didn't exactly tell the crew and plane, the passengers, what was going on, but they searched it. It landed on a military Air Force base. They went through the plane, and by the time they got ready to take back off, the pilots were out of time. They had to sleep 10 hours, so they had to spend the night at the base. They were all given a little room with a little food, and they got to wait it out. Who knows why they searched the plane? The passengers didn't get those details. Have you ever been diverted, had to do a layover, or a airplane company like Delta set you up in a hotel? I'm just going to say this. Say no, because the places that they choose are usually awful. Example, I got delayed in Dallas, Texas. They sent me to a place. I slept in a chair and I wouldn't touch the bed. It was nasty. It was the most awful experience I think I've ever done. And in the glow, I could see the Holiday Inn, and why I didn't get up and walk down the street myself, I do not know. But that was horrible. I'm telling you, I wasn't going to touch that place. It was just, be careful of what's free. It's not always good. And that was one of those instances. Thank you, Delta. That's where I was. Hopefully that never happens again. It does, though. Let's see here what else is happening this morning as we look around. Billy Miller, do you remember that name? He was an actor, Young and the Restless. He was also in General Hospital. As the autopsy has come out, this was released not long ago, the autopsy reveals that he committed suicide. There is closure, we know, for the family, but still, tough pill to swallow there. We don't know everything that we know about this artificial intelligence. What we know at this point is it's going to be used by fast food chains to take orders at restaurants. You pull up like at Wendy's, or if you pull up it generates things. Criminals are going to start using this because you can use the likeness of this. Maybe you've noticed it on YouTube to where someone who's passed away is singing a song. I've even seen it where Donald Trump is singing a song due to artificial intelligence. Well, people are taking that information and doing bad things with it. So far, we don't have all the details, but we see the Sports Illustrated publisher has been fired in the latest round of terminations after an artificial intelligence scandal. Now, they didn't confirm that's why, but he's out, several other people, that maybe some articles were generated this way. Man alive. Now, if that's the good folks supposedly doing this, imagine what the criminals are going to do with all this. Could you call a bank and request something? Because it'd be your voice. What all can be done with this? It's getting to be scary.
That's why I like personal local businesses.
Local businesses, as Odie pointed out. And it may really push that big time. But someone could really impersonate your voice, do things. And I'm not a criminal, so I don't know what all is capable of being done with that. We have 3 cases this morning that need prayers. I don't care where you are or what you're doing, but there's 3 families that have tragedy that I see here at Christmas as we look at our first one. A teenage Georgia high school baseball star has died after being accidentally hit in the head with a baseball bat inside a batting cage. How horrible that is. Was taken to the hospital and made it a couple of days, but now has passed away. Did you see this to where, I want to say this was in Georgia, where a football player, right before the game started, was found deceased. They didn't tell details this week, earlier in the week, as to why. Now we know. He was found shot before the football game. We pass along condolences to his family as well. Who knows what the reason was on that. Let's see, there was one more here. An SUV was found in Massachusetts in a pond. It was actually Illinois. I got confused. Illinois is where it was. A car, and they didn't find anyone. Since yesterday, they have now recovered a body of a teen that had gone missing. So we have 3 families that are going to be without their loved ones nationwide. Oh, I'm sure that there's more that I don't know about, that these 3 stick out. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers. It's going to be a tough one there. What happens when someone in authority does wrong? We know that happens, and never let us think that it is all doing it. As we turn to a police case here, as we go to Los Angeles, love is usually behind murders and things that go south. Sometimes it's men that do it, sometimes it's ladies. This time it would be a lady detective. Very clever. She was able to hide this for 20-something years. Her ex married somebody else. She took her out. She would confess to this in 2014 after evidence finally caught her. She did it in 1986. She's up for parole, and it looks like she may get out. Family's having a fit. California. How do you commit murder and get out in no time? It happens more often than we think. A lot of laws in Mississippi have changed to where if you're given life without parole, you can't get out. Not so in all the states in the United States. It depends upon your legislature, what they do. Ours try to make you pay for the crimes that you did. Sad news as we go to Israel this morning. 10 soldiers confirmed dead from age 19 to 35, including a high-ranking official. They were killed after an IFD went off there in the Gaza Strip. Think of them and their family members. One of the worst of that many people at one time that has happened. Do you remember, and this case just keeps going on as we get slow details. Remember we found out that a priest had been murdered during a break-in? We talked about that. The following day, we would find out that, well, the priest had a sketchy past to where he had been arrested for embezzling from a church and had been transferred. As we now find out that the man that killed him, as the police came into the home, was laid across him, making a cross as he was arrested, that had murdered the priest. There's more to this story that we don't know. Nebraska is where that took place. Let's see here. Maybe you remember this actor, how he's been in a lot of movies. Let me pull this picture up. He has passed away. I know that face from so many movies. 9-9, he was in that. Brooklyn 9-9. That's a big TV show. He has passed away. We do hate that. Only 61. He had won several Emmys. Just hate to see that. We have more and more of this every day. And at what point does the United States say we can't handle anymore? Even as liberal as New York City is saying we can't handle any more immigrants. Our borders are wide open. No one hardly is there to stop the tons of people pouring in. The Rio Grande daily being poured upon. The United States is at the busting seams of this. They're crawling under wires. They're doing whatever. We can't continue that. Pretty soon we won't any longer be a United States. We'll be on the land of the people aren't here. They'll take your stuff, though. Trust me on that. You have to be a U.S. tax-paying citizen to make this work. We've got a lot that's happening that doesn't happen here. We see more and more. This is tragedy. 24 years old. Now, I've seen it in movies. I've never done it before. You ever been fishing in waders? I've never done that, where you go out and they come up to here. We have a 24-year-old Oklahoma graduate. This is awful, to where it got a leak in the suit. Before long, it pulled him over and he drowned. He was dragged to the bottom of the lake. That's almost like one of those Final Destination things. That's scary there. And why someone would do this, I just don't know. It's very Grinchy. We'll word it that way. I don't understand. This is New Mexico. A man stood out in front of a school, in front of a elementary school, saying Santa isn't real, Jesus is. It's just not right. You have your beliefs, keep them to yourself sometimes. Bringing small children into something like that's not right. Not in my book. We'll be back as we've got your weather forecast next as we get ready for the 7 a.m. show. Won't you hang around? It'll be fun this morning. We'll be right back in just a second. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn.
Have a sleigh full of fun this season with gifts and accessories from Al's Garden and Gift. The spirit of Christmas shines in the Christmas shop with ornate and novelty-themed trees, snow globes, nativity sets, garland, ornaments, and more. Now 50% off. Unique accessories, gourmet foods, gift baskets, and certificates are perfect for holiday parties and gifts. Add color outdoors with beautiful blooming winter flowers. And it's the perfect time to plant fruit trees and shrubs too. Magical charm and beauty await your home this wonderful season. Merry Christmas from Al's Garden and Gift.
And welcome back as we get ready for this forecast. Are y'all ready for this? I am cold just thinking about it. 31 as we wait for that high of 63 today. We got details on all of that coming up of the 7-day outlook toward Christmas Day.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we roll back, here we go. 1931, it was 81 on this day. And 1962, I don't see how you get much cooler than this was. 4 degrees in 1962. Anybody remember that? Well, I can. I wasn't here, but boy, 4 degrees, that's kind of hard to forget. As we look to today, we'll see somewhere between 60 to 63 for Meridian. As we go northward toward Philadelphia, a little bit cooler there as you go through Noxapater and up toward Winston County. And back over to our west, we'll see warmer weather in Vicksburg. Sunshine down in Hattiesburg as well. As we go to our west, Tuscaloosa, 64 today. Montgomery, we'll see about 63 there as well. Nothing but great weather throughout both states. As we see this, kind of the line, Noxubee County of the warmer weather. We're normal in the Meridian area as we look west through Louisiana. We have to go to North Texas and extreme western Texas for that warmer temperature, but it's coming slowly. As we look ahead for the week, 62 the best we'll do today, down to 40 tonight, so not as cold. By Thursday, we'll have great parade weather in Meridian. 62 for high tomorrow, down to 40, but it will be nippy for the parade, so dress appropriately for that. As we look to Friday, the weekend begins 62. Saturday, perfect there, 59. Low down around 43 that night. 30% chance of showers on Sunday afternoon there as we get to a low of 39 as you wake up going back to work on Monday. But we'll average some 30s there for a few days with highs right at 60. What does the outlook for Christmas Day look like? A 50% chance of rain. Rudolph may get wet just a little bit there, but a high of 60. Low down to about 40, not bad at all. We've got 60-degree weather at least for a solid week beginning on the 20th to the 27th. Now, again, all this is subject to change. It goes ups and downs when it comes to weather within a 2-day period. We'll watch it. As we look at the fishing forecast this morning, Chet tells us major time today is 11:30. So be at the creek bank by 11 o'clock, and you'll be ready. Should go through about 1:30 this afternoon. North wind's going to be 5 to 10, gust of somewhere around 20. So we're going to have some gusts there. Make sure you know where you're chunking it. As we look at that deer hunting forecast, Collinsville meets. First major time will be 11:40. About 10 minutes later, pushing past the fishing forecast open. Good to about 2 o'clock. So be there at 11 o'clock, hunt to about 2. A midday hunt is the best you can do for deer hunting today. Good luck with it all. That's a quick look at what we've got with the weather forecast. Rush Mayette standing by. So many questions each day that we get about bridges. And Lord knows I don't know the answers, but Rush is here, and he'll tell us a few things, which bridges they're working on and what the expectancy of getting your bridge back up and rolling again in Lauderdale County. We'll learn all about that this morning. It's coming up. Won't you join us? We'll go live, and it's roughly, 5 to 6 minutes from now. We're coming back live with the live button. Join us. Find out what all the fuss is about right here with the Scotty Ray Report. Odie is standing by. We got coffee pouring. The only thing missing is you. We'll see you in a moment.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.